Whey protein. Ugh. Are you cold? So we're gonna do a 2-up tonight? Are we?
Yeah.
She's cold.
I kept it. I'd have done the 2-up.
Where's your bike anyway?
In the fucking house now.
I'm sorry.
Why?
Because nobody was going to do it and I've never done the 15, so I didn't know I wouldn't have known where to go. Nothing.
Go on, you go and wait over there and I'll be there in a minute. Me and Charlie are doing a 2-up. I've roped her into it. I wouldn't usually do the time trial tonight. Bynya's Thursday night bash around Pinghead, 15 miles, but I went out this morning for 2 hours. Today's just general basic riding, just to back up what I've done the last 2 days, so it ends a good 3-day block. So I thought I'd ride tonight. I've been to Charlie's here. I've not seen her in ages because she's now working flat out in East Port Talbot Hospital on placement. I thought I would jump in on her action, which she's kind of not really amused about. That's for the women's tour, because that comes literally around this corner on Saturday. How was it then?
I'm alive.
That was good, that was more to pace for me. So, vlog, we have just finished at the time trial and Charlie motor paced me back to her parents' house, which is mainly uphill, but still good for me to get a bit of time behind the car, which I rarely ever do actually. I rarely do much motor pacing, or the 2-up time trial is a really good way for Charlie to prepare herself for. So yeah, we did the 2-up. There's a few pointers that, like, I don't do many 2-ups because nobody ever wants to do a 2-up with me. That's the actual fact of the situation. Charlie always gets roped into them. But yeah, there's a few tips that you can take away whenever you're doing a 2-up. Regardless if you're doing it with somebody weaker or somebody stronger, which I will break down for you in 1 second. I've been really good diet wise the last like 2 or 3 days, so tonight I'm gonna have some nibbles.
What nibble?
What are you making? Hot chocolate?
Yeah. It's from Lidl.
Deluxe. And some rice pudding.
And some toast.
Homemade rice pudding. Oh yeah, and a slice of toast. Really pushing the boat out. It's the small things. I cannot hide my excitement. It's been literally like 1 second in YouTube time since I last spoke to you, but it's been like 20 minutes in real life time. I wish time was more like YouTube time. Some bicycle shaped themed pillows here. Sick. Gonna use that to rest my head while I talk to you. Team time trial. Pretty basic really. I'm gonna try and break it down into 5 quick tips for you. Try to pick somebody similar ability to you. Depends if it's a 2-man time trial or a 4-man time trial or 3-man time trial or whatever. Try and pick people who have similar ability. If they're not similar ability, then the rest of these principles apply even more. In a team time trial, it's all about trying to get to the finish the fastest, just like it is with any kind of solo time trial. The only difference being that you have to try and obviously keep everybody together. In some UCI events, obviously you can drop, 1 or 2 riders or whatever, and this will generally lead to a faster time because people are actually sacrificing themselves for the team. But in terms of like tonight, we'll use tonight as an example, because it's probably the most relatable scenario, I guess, for a lot of you if you fancy doing like a 2-up time trial with your best mate at your local club event. So me and Charlie had a game plan. The idea was that obviously she would do less than me on the front, save herself for the finish and whatnot. So she set off, she did like the first minute, and then she would peel off. I do 2 minutes, she do a minute, I do 2 minutes, etc, etc. Now the course is obviously different for everybody, so I can't speak for everybody's situation, but this course was like flat for like 3 or 4 miles, up to quite sizable like 1.5 minute climbs, back down them the other way, and then around a circuit that was fairly lumpy, like it was rolling up and down, and then you finish on that flat section of road that you rode out on. So you break it down into like 3 segments basically, or it makes it a lot easier if you break it down. So we got to the climbs and I let Charlie do the climbs. If you let the weakest person do the climbs, no offense, but it makes the climbs easier for that person. They can ride it at their own tempo, they don't have to blow a gasket trying to hold on to somebody who's obviously a lot stronger. And then on the descents, I would come round and she could, like, you know, take a break behind me, so to speak. We did that all the way until we got to like the flat section again, and I'd ride on the front and I would just kind of maintain a speed, because obviously, you know, my partner doesn't have a power meter, but they have a heart rate monitor. So as long as you maintain a certain speed, their heart rate will stay relatively consistent, being on your wheel. And then we got to the lumps and bumps. What you're experiencing is a potential ability to gain or lose time. So where I tend to gain time in time trials generally is on the climbs, because I'm a lighter guy, I go faster up the climbs in general, and I have this ability to kind of go over and under threshold reasonably well. So play to your strengths, play to your advantage as a team. So for me and Charlie, again, I used her ability on the climbs, then I would sit in, and then when we got to the descents I would press on and she could tuck in and rest behind. Now obviously the closer to the finish of the TT you get, the more you can, you know, start to venture into that red zone. Now for us tonight we did a 42.5 minute 15 mile time trial, which is not bad. It's kind of a lumpy course, so you'd expect, you know, I think the fastest time on that course is like a 32 anyway, so it's not so bad, given the conditions on the night as well. But what I feel like on this course in particular, the last 5 minutes you can really start to, you know, push into that red zone, and ironically it's the last 5 minutes that you come out of this kind of last bit of the circuit on this course, and you get back onto like the flat main road. So you know, kind of consciously, like, okay, now we're on the last stretch, now it's the last kind of 4 or 5 minutes, so you can give everything to the line. And when it's on a flat road as well, it's a lot easier to ramp that effort and pace it perfectly to the finish. So that's kind of what, you know, we did. But the last 2 climbs, which are quite substantial, like they're around about 15% climbs, and it really kind of knocks you back, you know, down to like 10-15 mile an hour. So we made sure that we kept as much momentum as possible into those, because, you know, you're into the last 7 minutes of the time trial, you can afford to start digging a little bit deeper. So that's how we rode it, but, you know, because it all depends on the course and the conditions, and of course your team or your riding partner in this case. And any questions about team time trialing, put them in the comment section down below, and I'll try and answer them for you. Charlie enjoyed, I enjoyed, I got a bit out of it by doing some extra training in the evening. Yeah,